Yeah. Oh,
You know
for
what I'm
real?
saying? Yeah, because I used to work when I first moved from Texas. You know, I was raised in San Antonio and in Houston.
Shout out to San Antonio.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
And when I moved out here, El Quiz, you know what I'm saying, and George, they were like, yo, you know, come out here, you know, we'll put you into a
El
barbershop.
Queasy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my guy right there.
El Queasy.
So they was the first ones to actually like sort of do anything, and Chiba was the first person to ever put me on the radio.
Oh shit! Shout
know
out
what
to
I'm
my
saying?
boy Che. Man, me too. Shout out to my boy K Chiba, man. First one to put me on that motherfucker too and get
Yeah.
me right. And
Yeah, Chiba's the man. You know
Show
what
me
I'm
some
saying? And through them, I met a lot of people like Cliff Cage and all of them. You know what I'm saying?
boy.
And I just rocked
Clifford.
with them.
hell yeah, nah.
You
So
know?
you know a lot of motherfuckers then, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy how you'll meet new people and be like, oh shit, you know so and so, but never. Me and you have never.
Yeah. It's Colorado Springs, a little big city. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
Eventually, you're gonna meet.
Yeah,
the people.
for sure. And you know what? That's all attests to what you do.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Big
it's like
facts.
what crowd you're in and shit like that. So at some point, it was going to be what it is right now.
Yeah, it's destiny, dog.
Nah, for sure.
You know, and that's the thing, right? Like, so when people talk about it, right? Like, you know, you land in a new spot, like in San Antonio, I was doing real good.
Right.
Had a shop, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Went through in and out of jail type of stuff, and I was like, man, I need something different. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
my mom lived out here. She lived in Woodland Park. I moved up here, and I just sort of got situated. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, right? Like overnight success takes 10 years. You know,
Man, listen.
by the time you get to that point, you know, everybody else is now seeing you, and they like, who's this dude that just came up out of the woodwork? Nobody but nobody knew the struggle. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's what people don't get.
Yeah, they don't get it. And then by the time you're making the move, you know what I'm saying, and people come around and they're like, oh shit, you know, so and so is doing this now. You know what I'm saying? And now you're getting all that exposure, and you end up coming back. But like I said, they don't know all the hard work and all the trials and tribulations it took to get you there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just see now so and so is making some money, he's making some moves, you know what I mean? Like, how do I get on? You know, and
How? Yeah, right.
how, right? Like, you know, you got to show me the dedication. You know what I'm saying?
People don't have it, man. I'm gonna just be honest, man. A lot of motherfuckers don't. I'm trying to get the vibes going. Normally, I have my. See, look, when you. We should be having some tunes in here right about now. But no, people don't get it, and they don't understand it. One, this isn't a cash cow, a cash
No.
grab. Y'all motherfuckers think, I know it's crazy. I've been doing this shit since I was 15, 16.
Yeah.
Like, and then taking it seriously maybe for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
As far as like really just goddamn like, all right, this is what I'm doing. Fool, if that was the case, everybody would be on.
That's
and what I
it.
noticed in like 2020 and shit, like motherfuckers got that little bit of money that was going around. Everybody wanted to be rappers, and then gone out of
Yeah.
there. A lot of motherfuckers that
I've seen some of them drop off, bro.
Bro,
I'm not gonna lie.
quick.
I saw some people drop off.
quick.
Yeah.
With the quickness. So that right there just lets me know, even then, y'all motherfuckers wasn't with the shit. Y'all wasn't even artists before then, because where your shit at?
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it. What people don't understand is like, you gonna spend a lot of money on yourself before a motherfucker even think about putting $1 in your pocket.
Facts.
Behind this music.
I mean, you talking like, especially you've been in it for 10 years, dog. You put tens of thousands of dollars behind yourself, bro.
Every studio session.
And that's a lot of the things that I don't understand too with some of these artists that are emerging now, right? Like, you know, just with the management group side of this, right? Like, I got people that are like, you know, hey, you know, produce a full album for me. And I'm like, do you know how much that fucking costs?
They don't.
They don't, right? Like,
Especially when you're talking about production. If everything's not in-house,
yeah.
you coming
Well,
out.
then you're talking like you want top beats, right? You want top producers. You want top videographers, top photographers. You want top venue, right? Like, homie, it's got to cost some money,
Listen,
right?
bro.
And like in my position on it, I don't mind investing, right? Because I'm invested,
Yeah.
right? And this is what I'm doing. This is a move that I'm making. So I'm gonna invest into the people that are rocking with me and stuff
Facts.
like that because I want them to have the best. And if they get something that's the best,
Yeah.
that means I'm gonna get a better return.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's a business thing.
It
You know
is.
what I mean?
Yep.
And but trying to explain that play is a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they just don't see it. Or they see the moves that you made and they're like, well, like on my side of it, they're like, yo, Bray got this business, he got this business, he got this business, he got this, so he got all the money. You know what I'm saying? Well, how do you think I provide for all those things?
How do you think this happened, motherfucker?
You know what I'm saying? I call it conditioning. I condition myself, right? So that day that I am making the money that I need to, I can fucking sit back, I can retire, and I've conditioned myself to pay this amount of bills. So when I don't have all of that overhead, now I got some retirement stuff. I can sit back, I can enjoy life. You know what I mean?
Man.
And by no means is throwing a stadium event. It didn't make me rich. I didn't make no money off of it. I made enough.
It set the tone for
the future.
Hey, these guys did this.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah.
Next time we see these guys doing something, we're probably gonna attend, or from the people who didn't come or left early or whatever. So it's always that FMO, man.
Yeah.
And something like that, like we was talking about, it's not easy. It's not easy to get the fucking it's not easy to get any venue out here unless it's a real venue for those types of things.
Right.
That venue is not for those types of things.
Nah.
Unless they already know you gotta, what are you offering to them to allow them to open their doors? So.
Facts. Well, imagine too, like we're sitting there and I think I had the conversation. I had brought somebody in the front side of it, man. This we're going to just speak a little bit on that ugly, right? And when I brought these people in, I'm not gonna throw them under the bus or anything like that, But when they came back to me, I was like, look, we've had our differences in the past, for about a 10-year difference.
Yeah.
And it was an olive branch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And still all respect to those dudes. You know what I'm saying? You got two heavyweights trying to come into the game. They're going to butt heads. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you shake hands, you show the love, right?
Yeah.
And respect, right? So it's all respect to these guys. But when they came back and they were like, yo, we don't really like the name of it. We want to change the name, right? And they said, well, let's change it to Rhythm, Rides, and Vibes. And I was like, that's cool, man, but I wanted something very specific for the event that we're doing. I didn't want it to be secluded to Colorado Springs. I wanted it to be a state thing because we had artists from Pueblo, Colorado Springs, Denver. You know what I mean? We had car clubs from all of the different cities. So we couldn't just be like Colorado Springs, low block party. We wanted the Colorado summer low block party.
Yeah.
And it was pretty descriptive, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it came down to it, it was really just like, I sat back and I thought about it and I'm just like, all right, like we could change it. But then more of the conversation went on and they were like, no offense, Bray, but you're white. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, homie, I grew up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up in Houston.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different thing. I'm 42 years old. I was born in 82, so I grew up in the 90s.
What does that even mean, though?
Right. Like, it was basically saying, well, you can't throw a lowrider event because you're white.
Why the fuck I can't?
For real.
Y'all ain't doing it, and no disrespect. I love everybody, man.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know all, especially my Mexican folks. But even with people, got to stop pulling that race car shit, bro. I think that's just a way to get motherfuckers to.
It was crazy to me, dog. Like and
what?
it really just, and it started out with Bray, no offense. So when somebody tells you no offense, what you take?
It's offensive.
It's
at least gonna be somewhat offensive. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take all offense. You know what I'm saying? And especially when I'm coming through and I'm trying to say, hey, here's an olive branch. I want to work with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do this together. It can be bigger. It can be better for the community. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, it shows that we can work together, that we're not always at heads. And when it came back and it was about an alignment thing and stuff, and I was like, well, you're not even aligning with me.
Yeah. So,
you know what I'm saying? So how can it be an alignment thing? You know what I mean? If you're not willing to work with me to align.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I got home and I'm just, bro, I'm sitting on my couch and it's just running through my head, dog.
Yeah.
It's running through my head. And I was like, you know what? Nah, fuck that. You know what I mean? We're gonna run this shit the way that I wanted to run it.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I've done tons of events in this city, in Denver, you know what I mean? All sorts of stuff. I mean, I started in the barber battle circuit and I did the Halloween hair massacre with my boy Mr. Exclusive Cuts. Shout out to him out of El Paso, Texas. And you know, he sort of put me on game. So I'm really real big about paying homage to the people that have put me in the position to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And we ran it, dog. We ran 6 Halloween hair massacres from Colorado, from Texas to California. You know, like we was all over the place. You know what I mean? And then I was educating in different places. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm a 13-time award-winning barber. You know, and that's why I said, like, you know, go all the way back to high definition cuts with El Quiz. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's when I first landed here, and I was already doing designs and all sorts of stuff like that.
Already on your shit.
Yeah, we was already getting it, and that's why I said when Chiba first, he was like, yeah, just call into the radio show. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, bet that. You know, and I started trying to make a name because, you know, coming from Texas and landing here, I didn't have no clients. I didn't have nobody.
Super different.
Way different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, if you've been to Houston, you know how big Houston is.
Yeah, I fuck with El Paso. I was in El Paso as a youngster. So
915.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we just kept on moving through the whole thing. But you know, getting back to that whole olive branch thing, I sat on my couch and I was just fuming over it, dog. And I was like, man, like, you know, you try to give an opportunity and it's almost like you get smacked.
Yeah. It's always like that. When has that never been an issue in some capacity?
Yeah.
Whether it's super big or somebody gonna try it.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
And it's cool. I mean, you know, do your thing.
Still happened.
You know what I'm saying?
Show
But
still went on.
Yeah, show went on. But I felt like that they were really like, it wouldn't be what it was, right? You know? And these people, they sort of had the connection into the lowrider community. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have the lowrider connection at all, right? So, you know, there was some problems in the lowrider community prior to this, right? Yeah. And it basically was, you know, like lowrider had came in, they did a show or whatnot, and then they just disappeared. They never came
Actual
back.
lowrider or
lowrider magazine.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying?
Grew up, man. Hey. I grew up looking at that shit, man.
Hey, I had them pictures all over my walls,
That
bro.
was one thing that was like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah.
It really showcased the culture of lowriders and really the Hispanic community. You never really got that shit for real from out of anything else as far as me. You know what I'm saying? And what that was and what that gave you. Like, that shit was fire growing up looking at all those magazines.
Bro, I used to go into the grocery store. And I go over to the little magazine section. I tear out that center billfold thing. That's go right up on the wall.
Man, you know, come on, man. That's all I need.
Yeah,
man,
that's it.
The bitches in that magazine. Trying to tell you.
So what I did instead, and then they had another guy that came in and, you know, corporate guy, whatever, you know, was going to all of the lowrider clubs, you know, hey, I need this kind of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me your money. And then took off with the money. So now
this was not your guys' event.
No.
Okay,
this is prior to me.
Okay.
So when you go into it, you know, and you're like, yo, I need to get in with the lowrider community. You can't have a lowrider show without the cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, how do I change this whole perception? Because these people do not know me, right?
Yeah.
So I started reaching out and I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm reaching out to the presidents and I'm like, hey, can I come and meet with you guys? So you know what I'm saying? And you know, humbled and grateful that these gentlemen gave me the opportunity to come to their spots and stuff like that, which is
Yeah.
not what these other guys were doing,
Yeah.
right? And here's these lowrider clubs, you know, seeing these posts, you know, about this lowrider show. Who the hell is this dude? Who's this fucking white dude that's throwing a lowrider event?
Right.
They want us to bring our cars that we worked on, put our sweat, blood, and tears into, and basically make a show off the sweat off of our backs,
Yeah.
right? So growing up, it was always about showing face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You show face, you
gotta
get
pull up.
respect.
Yeah.
You know what I
gotta
mean?
pull up.
Got to pull up. So me and my boy Xavier, you know what I mean? That's my guy right there. We started pulling up at these spots. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it is. You know, like you got everybody over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just me and my partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but we're coming in. You know what I'm
look,
saying?
that's
We're
how
gonna
it should
come
be.
and talk to him. And man, they were so hospitable.
Yeah.
And so polite and respectful. And they gave me the floor to tell them what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this was not something I was trying to make money off of or
Some
anything.
hostile bullshit. Like, yeah, we just
you know,
trying to
I wanted to do something different. What we wanted to do was we wanted to bridge the gap,
Yeah.
right? Like, so when you see the lowrider events and stuff, bro, they ain't on the north side.
Exactly.
You know, like you get these white folks up there that see these lowriders and they automatically, oh, troublemaker.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes some gangbangers.
Oh yeah, facts.
I mean, these people.
Which may be true, but guess what? That went off without a hitch. And what not to cut you off, but people say that shit not knowing, like, gangsters be the most hospitable, polite people, because the real ones.
Yeah,
because
facts.
they understand how quick shit can go left, right,
Yeah.
whatever the fucking case may be. So it's always important to be that way.
Yeah.
It's them young niggas that don't be knowing and be ready to
Yeah.
every time. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
goddamn,
little street soldiers.
yeah, you know,
what I'm
so it's
saying?
a big difference when you're dealing with the OGs or some shit versus, and
Well,
it's all about respect.
And a lot of them, man, they're family guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you start looking at the lowrider, you know, you got to go back into the history of it, you know what I'm saying, in California and realize what was the reason why they made lowriders. Because they was getting harassed by the cops because their cars were too low. So when a cop was there, they raised it up. When a cop was left, they slam it back down. That was the whole point of the lowrider. You know what I'm saying?
Now that I didn't know.
Yeah, that's the history.
That's
You see what I'm
fire.
saying?
That's fire. To think about, that's why it started.
Yeah.
Like, man, we too low. How the fuck you getting in trouble for being too
Well,
low?
look at you go back to those Zoot Suit riots and stuff like that. They would target them a lot like how they target people now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, like that was it.
Yeah.
You know, we had to raise it up when we
Yeah.
saw them. We had to drop it back down. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Afterwards, you
Yeah.
know, and all of these cars, man, they are pieces of art.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, getting into it, like, you know, huge shout out to like this. He's a real key here for the
Okay.
lowrider community, but Mr. Randy Bills, man, high class dog. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with them heavy. You know, I got the opportunity to actually see like in his shop, and this man builds everything from the ground up, from the frame, the interior, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And if you saw the winner of the Black Parties competition, it
Yeah.
was the Red 6'4", Candy Red
That
6'4".
motherfucker was bad, boy.
Bro.
With the gold pinstripe shit, it was
Yeah.
all the way in the back, or the
Yeah,
far
that was
right
all
of the-
high class in the back.
That
You know what I
bitch
mean?
hard.
And when you go into and you actually are looking at these vehicles and you see the engraving, you see, I mean, even on you know, Mr. Bill's Customs 6'8"
Yeah.
Impala, homie, he done sandblasted designs in the window. Like, man,
Like, bro.
the detail, it's art. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And you're putting in, it's like, and it costs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you see these cars, you're talking, you know, anywhere from 50 grand on just a regular lowrider. And then you get to that,
Yeah.
homie, you're
Easy,
like
100,
100K at
50,
least,
yeah, at
150.
least parts,
Some of these
engine.
people are spending, you go to the super shows, these cars are $3 million.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
No bullshit.
Like,
They ain't playing.
nah,
Yeah.
they're going all out. So getting these people to come to the event and bring that kind of vehicle, like that was a challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Going and talking to these people and getting them to know, like, hey, I've been here. You know, my shop been here for almost 8 years. I've given back to the community, you know, which is something that Neons has done
Yeah.
for 7 years, you know, from backpack, you know, supply stuff to like the next event that we got July 4th, right? Haircuts for Heroes.
Yeah.
this is an event that we give back to all of the military forces, veterans, you know what I mean? And we fundraise for Honor Flight to Southern Colorado. So that takes all of these old school vets that were in like Vietnam War, Korean War, and it flies them out free of charge to the memorials and stuff like that in other states. It's about $2,000 a person. So, you know, they don't have that opportunity.
That's
you know
fire,
what I'm
though.
saying? And those are the same people, you know, that went over there, bro. Could you imagine trudging through the jungle?
Yeah.
Homie, I'm not doing it.
Nah, what?
Yeah, you know, send a
That's
drone.
some real
dog.
shit. Nah,
You know?
for real. That's some real war shit.
That was the
going
real
on.
shit.
Yeah, you know?
You know?
Nothing like what's going on right now. Because here it doesn't even have to be like that. It just is.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and in my whole skew of everything, you know, working with different people. So this is a country thing. You know what I'm saying? So we got Symes Carter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people may know Symes from doing beats. He did beats for Lil Flip, for, you know, Trey the Truth.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people down in Texas because he's from Texas. You know what I'm saying? And he's been on that circuit for a minute, and he broke out in the country, and he's doing his thing right now. So I was like, yo, as soon as we put this thing together, I was like, what's the deposit? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this headline. So I'm super excited. We got Kevin Austin Band. They're coming out. And I've been rocking with them since the day he did his first solo. So, you know, it's been nothing but love and support, you know what I mean, for all genres.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, I love them all.
It's all art.
Yeah, it's all art, and in some weird way, you know, and dare I say this, but it's all sort of connected through hip hop, bro.
Yeah. All of it. Everything comes back. Sports, all this shit comes back.
Yeah.
And you could say hip hop. I mean, what else could you say
I mean,
in that instance?
I would
You know what I
just,
mean?
just artistry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, like, even when you get into the country, you know, the words,
Yeah.
you know, gotta play
The expressiveness of it. Yeah.
everything, you know. And so when I go into the ugly of the event, yeah, there was a lot of ugly in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people that, you know, obviously want to get their shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. You know what I mean? You gotta expect that, right?
Yeah.
You know, one of the other big ugly parts about it was not knowing how so much to navigate something of that size, right? And how we're having a concert, we're having a parking lot festival, lowrider car show. You got, you know, 40 to 60 vendors. You got, you know, 10, 15 food trucks, trying to get all these people to show up at the right time. And then you still got to manage the inside.
Yeah.
One of the ugly things is my porta potty people didn't show up.
Oh.
So everybody was like, where do we use the bathroom? And I wasn't going to open up the gates to the stadium until 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But at that point, I had no choice, dog. I had to open up the stadium because people needed to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
So the ugly part about that was I then had to kick everybody out of the stadium for them to go back through security. So I had a big line of people standing in the hot sun waiting for about an hour to get back into the venue to go through security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're gonna find those hiccups, you know what I'm saying, and you know, not for nothing, you know, that week before that there was the raid, the ICE raid. So I'm sitting here the whole time, dog, and I played it cool, I played it off, you know what I'm saying, but the whole time during that parking lot festival, I was like, they're gonna target this event.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a lowrider event, they're gonna target the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? And so the whole time I'm thinking like ICE or police are gonna show up. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to shut this shit down or whatever. You know, we got to a point to where we had a packed parking lot full of lowriders, and I'm like, cool, it's all packed. I think that's about it, bro. 12 more lowriders pulling up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, where do I put all these people? You know, I don't want to piss off the lowrider community, but you know what? I should have given them a little bit more credit because they've been doing it for forever, so they know how to.
Yeah, they know how
maneuver.
to chop it up with each other and be like,
Yeah.
that's they shit.
Yeah,
So,
and they did.
Yeah.
And they did. They handled that, you know what I'm saying? And it ended up being a real good show. A lot of the responses I got was like, it was so organized, you know, and we did have one artist that didn't show up, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, with no text, no call, you know what I'm saying? And
Oh, I think. Look, you saying that, I'm trying to think of who was on the joint, but now I'm thinking I know who it is.
You know, and that's my boy, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, you know, I love him to death, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I would suggest, like, if you're ever an artist and you can't make an event like this, this isn't just a bar, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the club, you know what I'm saying? Like, we throw up a DJ and do some stuff. Everything's on a time schedule, my guy. Like, you know, a heads up would be nice, you know what I'm saying?
Shit work.
Yeah. And it did work.
Yeah.
It did work the way that it worked out, you know, like, you know, one of my other artists or whatever was running behind a little bit. So we had that little bit of room to sort of put it in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, like at a stadium, you go over a certain time, you got to,
For that.
they charging.
For sure.
Big, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, just to turn those lights on, bro, it's $200.
Yeah.
Just for an hour.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't have the lights on during the actual show. I think it would have outshined what we needed.
Yeah.
So I think it was great how we had it, but at the end, just to throw those lights up to clean up, bro, cost me $200 just to throw them on for an hour.
See, they don't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's even, again, back to what we were talking about. Like, yeah, this shit ain't, y'all think it's easy to get these venues and shit like that,
It
bro.
was not
It's
easy.
not. Like, you got to come out of $200 to turn the lights on. Could you imagine going into your every day? You
An
had to
hour.
pay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers would be in the dark all the time.
And then you know you get to, you know, coming and having this conversation with the coordinator from the stadium, and you're talking to them about putting cars on their field, and it's the month before baseball, right?
To that, I heard that during my set that when that bitch got on the grass, that was a problem.
It was a problem, but at the same time, there was nothing you could do about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the show, right?
Yeah.
And I let them know, like, hey, we're gonna put a hopper out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't really know where a hopper is gonna go.
Right. I was
You know
like,
what I'm
damn, this
saying?
bitch is moving on its own. Mid performance, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This bitch is turning on its own.
So, and I saw, like, you know, my connect at the stadium just when we pulled them cars on and they just barely touched the grass. My guy was running down the field, get that car off the grass. And then we hit that hopper.
Yeah.
Bro.
I bet that
All
was-
I seen was fucking grass going up. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that's going to cost. Thank God for insurance.
Yeah.
Thank God for event insurance. If you're doing an event like that, please get yourself some event insurance.
Yeah, you got to
You know
do
what I
that.
mean? You just never know, you know. Some more of the ugly we did. Now, nobody saw this, right? Because when you run a good event, you know, a little bit about my mom. My mom used to run events, right?
sure.
And I think the biggest event she did was 56,000 people at Alamo Dome.
Damn.
In San Antonio, right?
Okay.
My dad was a sound engineer, you know, worked with Santana and stuff like that. So
shit.
when I was growing up, I seen a lot of this. So I was sort of conditioned. I never knew I'd follow in her steps or anything like that, right? But one of the biggest things that she taught me was if there's a problem, make it seem like there's never been a problem, that it was hidden. I don't care if somebody dies in the bathroom. Your job as an event coordinator is to make it to where nobody knows.
Yeah.
So not very many people saw this part of it. There was a gentleman that was severely intoxicated. He fell, split his shit open, you know, had to be carried out by a stretcher.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't know nothing about this.
Hell
did you?
nah.
Yeah. So, and then at the end of the event, you know, parking lot sort of cleared out, and, you know, somebody got jumped in the parking lot type thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that happened.
Yeah. But, you know, that's my job, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what makes me a good event coordinator. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the business side of it. You know what I'm saying? So that way, when you are doing these type of events, if there's a problem, because imagine you want to hire me for an event, right? Well, you're gonna come to my event, you're gonna check one out first, right? And you're gonna be like, damn, that shit was smooth. You know what I'm saying? I want to use him. Now you get to see the backstory of it and be able to say, okay, what problems did you go through? That's why, you know, like when you ask my guy, you know, big shout out to Ricky. What's up, Wolf?
Young
you know what
Wolfie
I'm saying?
Wolf.
You know, a lot of those questions he wasn't able to sort of understand directly. You know what I'm saying? He had the idea for it, you know what I'm saying? But these are more specific to somebody that's actually coordinating the event.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the challenges, like you were talking about, there was the challenge of getting the stadium to open it up. It was the challenge of going and meeting the lowrider community. It was the challenge of getting 14 performing artists to perform and have all of their music sent to the right people and be there on time, because time's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're on a time schedule here. This thing can't just go on forever. And if you don't pull an artist off the stage and say, yo, this is the time you got, bro, a lot of the artists will just keep on going.
Yeah,
you know what
facts.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because they want to connect with the audience. And I love that,
Yeah.
right? But this isn't the type of thing to do it at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so staying committed to that, being on the field, staging the artist so the next one could go up, making communication with the people that are up in the suites
Yeah.
to get those people in position at the right time.
That was good that y'all did that too. I
Bro,
like the
that
way
was
y'all
my
ran
hardest
that shit.
fucking part.
Yeah.
Because I had no phone. I had nothing. My tablet went out in the ticket booth, right? So
shit.
I had to leave my phone. And then we did have headsets at first, and these walkie-talkies are supposed to last 8.5 hour battery charge.
4
Bro,
hours.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5. So now I'm running around the stadium, inside, outside. You know what I mean? Trying to organize everything and
Yeah.
just having a run, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have no cell phone. I don't have nothing.
Burn some calories that day.
Oh yeah, homie, that was it.
Because it's a walk anywhere in that bitch.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so-
I'm surprised I didn't have one of them little fucking scooters. I know better for next time, bro. I'm getting me a little fucking electric scooter.
Hey, man.
You know what
get
I'm saying?
around. That's crazy.
And then you get stopped by everybody in between. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's do this. Let's do. Hey, take a picture with me. Hey, man, who's going up next? Like, come on, man. You see me working.
Yeah,
You
fucking
know
around,
what I'm
forget what
saying?
you were doing.
Yeah, you know, and making sure that things were copacetic in the suites, that you were putting people next to people that wouldn't have no problem with the people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you start mixing in alcohol with that, things can get out of hand. So you
Yeah.
got to make sure it's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And making sure things are fully stocked. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because you want your artists to feel appreciated. I know a lot of you guys just did it on GP just
Yeah.
for the city.
Nah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So being able to say, hey, let me treat you with this, you know what I'm saying? And putting the bottles in there and the beer and make sure everybody's happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Another big part of it was, bro, you know how hard it is to tell the stadium, hey, let all my people in here smoke weed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I was surprised too to hear that. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. But they
You
was
gotta
with
pay
it.
for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that's the
The
thing.
whole event, I think, cost me 33 rags. Yeah. And I didn't make nothing off of it. Like I said, I made enough to pay back my investors.
Yeah.
And to put on a show for the city. I wasn't trying to make no money off
You
of
was
this.
trying to put on.
I was just
so you
trying to
could do
put
it
on for the
again.
city. Yep. So that way we can continue to do it. We made a good reputation at the stadium. They loved it. Even with the truck catching
Yeah.
on fire and everything, like they loved it.
Yeah.
And they invited me to come back and do it again. I will do things differently the next time.
Yeah.
It was a good thing for the lowrider community. They had never put lowriders on that field before. It was different than what they're used to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was on a different side of town, which opened up the doorway. And now a lot what you see on the northeast side now, bro, I'm seeing lowriders cruising all the time now.
And not only that, so they got the car meets that be out there. It don't be the lowriders though, but they be up there in that general area. So
Yeah.
that's where they be having their little car
Yeah.
meets and shit at. So it's cool that you were able to again get them to open their doors to this culture, to these people, so they can really be like,
Yeah.
they was looking like.
Oh yeah, yeah, they was looking, but you know what? Like, I explained to him. I said, when was the last time you saw Bob Pincus go to the South Side?
Motherfucking Pincus?
Yeah,
Motherfucking
that's one of the
Pincus.
sponsors.
I
Big
think
shout
that
out
nigga's expensive. My mama said that nigga's expensive.
Hey, you saw those whips that they had
Yeah,
out there, though,
yeah.
man,
Nah,
bro.
facts.
I was like,
Facts.
hide that from my wife.
Man, come on, man.
She gonna want one. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And big shout out to Soco Loco, you know what I mean, on that trophy, for all of their involvement. You know what I'm saying? Josh Landez, Brett Roller, both of them guys and all the Soco team, man, they really came in thick and heavy and represented good with their announcement for Soco Loco. Those are my guys for real, for real. And, that's a Southern Colorado lowrider company that they launched. You know what I mean? And
Shout out to y'all.
And they already putting out fire, bro. They're the only authorized dealer in the state of Colorado for 4G Auto. You know what I'm saying? So
Really?
if you need them 4Gs.
If you know,
Man.
because I know a lot of motherfuckers don't know, and Colorado don't be having shit. We're not the place for all that. That's
Yeah.
why you got to go to Denver to go to
Yup.
them type of stores, or the Gucci's, you know what I'm saying? Shit
We're trying to build it to that, right? Like, so how do you build it? You got to put on.
Yeah.
you got to show, hey, we can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can make things, we can grow, but it takes the joint effort of everybody in the community to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got to understand, when you see a person throwing an event, man, I started this thing with $0.
Zero.
I had no money. My wife was sitting there saying, how are you going to do this? You don't have no money to throw a stadium event. And I said, I don't have the money, but I got me.
Yeah.
I got me.
We gonna get this motherfucker.
And I believed in myself, all the way back from, high definition cuts to where I'm at now. I believed in myself. I landed here. I did what I needed to do. I pushed it. And now people starting to see me. You know what I mean? Just understand, it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
We've been building for 15 years, here in Colorado Springs. So, and we're going to keep on continue to build, you know what I mean? And that's where the good comes in, right?
Right.
So we talked about the ugly, let's talk about the good, the things that, we did to accomplish this. One, we brought a whole city of small businesses together. These are local people. These are people that have businesses right here in our backyard. We go to those taco trucks. We go to those small businesses. We're spending our money with local, you know what I mean? And in a world where everything is trying to get rid of small to go big, we got to remember, this city was built on small business.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got to support those small businesses, and we got to put them in a position to where they can make more money. You know what I mean? Because corporate people, they got it all day.
Yeah.
And these are just regular people trying to make it. So it was a big thing, and that was good being able to connect it. When you see food trucks, commenting on each other's posts, you know what I'm saying? Saying, hey, it was great working with you.
Yeah.
We did such a great job, that's what I'm talking about.
No, it's dope. People got to get rid of the ego, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that, especially in the music. In any industry, I feel like, I don't think there's one other than like maybe country music.
Yeah.
And rock, but like everything else that I've seen or looked at, people be fucking hating on the next. When you think that, hey, if we all band together and kind of help push each other, we would be everyone would be larger than life. But because everyone is trying to,
well, you saw it happen in Houston, right? Like in Houston, you had the north side, the south side.
When I saw that with all them fools on that fucking magazine, bro, that was the tightest shit ever.
That's
Being
when it really
Colorado
boomed.
was seeing that shit, bro. Like all these motherfuckers from Slim Thug to motherfucking
Zero. You got, you went from SUC, Swisher House, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it all started with who?
It was a beautiful thing.
With Screw, Big Hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fat Pat, you know what I'm saying?
Kings
like,
of the underground.
those are the legends. Chad
UGKs
Butler,
of the shit,
you know what I'm saying? So when they figured it out. Yeah. San Antonio didn't figure it out, dog. Like everybody was just like, I'm from this side, I'm from this side. And San Antonio already segregated, bro. Yeah. Like you got the essays on one side, you got all your black folk on the east side, you got all the white folk on the
in San Antonio.
You got them all on the north side, you know what I'm saying? And it's such a big sprawled out area, but the reason why they did that was so that way they could target groups. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh yeah, we go over to MLK Bridge right now, and everything east of MLK is all black. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna start fucking up these spots. You know what I mean? Do the same thing on the west side or the south side where it's all Mexican. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're gonna go fuck them up. You know, bro, you didn't see them going on the fucking north side with the white people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was the people on the north side, bro, that was buying the choppers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they just left them alone. You know, that's why I said it's very segregated. Yeah. Now, for me, I lived on the northeast side, so I was back and forth. You know, I grew up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So coming back and forth, like that was my spot, bro. You know what I mean? And I moved all around that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when I landed here, people was just like the first place I had was it was off of Fountain and Shelton.
Yep, Fountain.
You know what I'm saying? And people was like, man, why you move in the hood? And I was like, this the hood? You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like the hood to me. You know, I come from a place where they spray paint your building number on. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I got these little gold numbers here. You know, I got doors on every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's a bit different. But yeah, our hood and your hood is two different things.
Yeah, you know, and you're gonna have it from every city. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as the city grows, you get more into different.
Bro, and you've been here how long? So you see what they're
15.
doing in Nevada and
Yeah.
What Nevada was, especially South Nevada, and what they're trying to do. All that gentrification is what you want to call it.
Yeah.
They want the motherfuckers up out of there.
Yep.
They closed that Starbucks right there because of the motherfucking, like, the homeless and shit. Like, nah, y'all gotta go. They closed the bathroom. Y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we ain't even letting y'all junkies use the bathroom. We barely even want the regular people because y'all motherfuckers want to come in here and stay and sleep and do junkie stuff. Stop that.
But like I said, when we get to that good part, man, we really united and bridged the gap, and that was my biggest goal. I'm real big into the community, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we ain't stopping here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was cool. We did this lowrider event, you know, at a stadium. You know, we did a lot of charity stuff, and we built our way up to the stadium. So we're going even bigger. You know, we're gonna try to get PPIR. One of the things that the good thing, you know, is a lot of people would think that this is a bad thing, but I think of it as a good thing because I'm on the coordinating side. Is when you have that kind of event. You got the
Lolo thing.
The Lolo thing, and then you got the concert.
Okay.
It's separated the two, right? So if you own $100,000 vehicle, you leaving it in the parking lot unattended?
Probably not.
Nah, you're going to bounce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to take your baby where you need to, you know what I mean? Make sure it's safe, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really put that into perspective until afterwards, right? Because I was expecting a lot more people in the crowd.
Yeah.
You
know would think they were staying for the show.
Right.
But because of, like, man, I'm not leaving my shit out here.
Yeah. And I tried my best, man. I was like, yo, man, you don't want your car out here, man. Bring it over to the thing. And like I said, it's a time thing. So I can only do so much in that parking lot. And I'm telling everybody, I'm like, yo, bring your cars. You can put them on the field. You can put them on the field.
So that's why you were putting the cars on the field so they could be safe.
So the people had the eyes on them. You know what I'm saying? And there weren't going to be people around them, you know, and to give you the opportunity for you to have that photo op and for our dozen videographers, you know what I mean, to be able to get your cars, showcase them, do all of that, and put them on the field, you know, which the lowrider community commended me for because it had never been done before. And but it also was ineffective as far as having the full crowd come in, because in total I think we had about 2,400 people. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole day. Yeah. You know, and that's including staff, you know, which is a good sized group. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do a lot of shows. People. You do a lot of shows. Like, you go to a club, you might have like 200-300 people. Yeah. And it'll look packed.
Looks a lot. Is it less than 1,000 people? 500 people looks like 1,000 people.
Yeah. So. For
sure.
But when you have a big venue, 500 people seems like 50. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it sort of secluded it, you know what I'm saying? And
there was a gang of people in that parking lot. Go look at any videos that you looked at. There was a gang of people in that parking lot.
Yeah, so the next time that we do it, we're going to do it a little bit different. Now that they were able to do that on the field, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But next time we're going to try to utilize like something like PPIR, so that way all of the cars can be there and everybody can be there together. We're just gonna charge a low fee for everybody to go in. You know, like if it's regulated, then you know everybody will have their bands on and everybody's good. You know, you got all the trucks, you got everybody.
You said PPIR. What is and where?
Pikes Peak International Raceway.
Okay. Where? Yep. Oh shit.
Yeah. So we're trying to go big. I know I talked to a couple people. I don't
Midway to Pueblo. That's what?
Yeah. So that actually bridges a gap there too between Colorado Springs and Pueblo.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
Have motherfuckers riding around the track. Shit,
bro, you get and we want to add donks to it too. We want to see people doing a little bit of track runs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine?
Burning tires, a burnout. You know what I'm saying? Do all that. You know what I'm saying?
Straight Fast and the Furious at the track. Yeah. That should be so gangster.
Yeah, you know. So just do a whole car show, and like I said, you know, this opened up a doorway. This is the good part, right? Yeah. It opened up a doorway for us to not just do the Colorado Summer Lolo Black Party, but we can also do the Colorado, Rat Rod. We can do the Colorado Lifted Trucks. We could do a donk show. You know what I'm saying? We can switch it up, and this reaches to a way broader and vast community than just specific to lowriders. Sure. You know what I mean, or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
It's car culture in general.
Car culture in general, which leads me into our title sponsor. You know, JP Mortgage. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Shout out JD Peck. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't have done it without him. You know, I came to him and I brought the idea. He's been a big supporter throughout all of my events. Okay. And I said, yo, JD, like, hey, I need your help on this. And bro, without hesitation.
Yeah.
What you need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the whole 15 years of stuff comes in, because you build the relationships. And I say this to any barber that's out there that's listening, that if you build your relationship from the ground up, at some point that bar or that client that you had in your chair that was working at Subway or whatever at that moment, he's working on his career too. Keep rocking with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't switch up your prices because he gets better pay or anything like that. You want that man to grow, and you want that man to look the best and develop the relationships, because then they're going to see what you're doing and they're going to come to you and they're going to be like, yo, what do you need for a sponsor?
Facts.
You know what I mean? But we was there.
Yeah.
I was 15 years ago, bro. I was in the shop barely making anything.
Yeah.
Working a second job. You know what I'm saying? And now I ain't got to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? But it started from the ground zero.
Yeah.
And building the relationship. So through these type of events, you build a relationship. I mean, shit, I met you through it. You know what I'm saying?
Through the homie, it be like that.
And big shout out to you, because
I appreciate
you
it.
fucking killed it, bro.
I appreciate it.
You killed it. I meant for the truck to go off on your song Jump.
No, I know. And when I
Man.
seen him coming out, I was like, oh shit. But
It's happening now.
Yeah, this
You
is
know?
what we're doing right now.
Well, it's because my shout out to AG the MC, he killed it up there too. But he was like, I told him, I was like, when he gets to jump, you know, throw the Exquisite sign. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Exquisite.
Yeah.
You know? And do the X, you know, like they do. You know what I'm saying? And he hit me with the Exquisite sign, and I was like, all right, it's coming up.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, it's y'all's time to go up there and do the thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was a little bit premature.
Yeah, it was cool though. I ain't never done even all the performances. That was definitely one of the most funnest. For this, where it was at, what the event it was, all that shit was fire.
Well, see, and that was the thing too, right? Like I wanted to be able to do a show. I knew I had my homie Brown Boy coming out. I had my homie Big Jim and I coming out. Brown Boy surprised me with Melissa Lujan, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, we had DJ Rick G Ricky that was up there, and you know, with Big Jim and I, a lot of people came through, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who everybody was gonna bring, but when they came in, they did their thing. And you know, Stephanie Art out in the parking lot, man, she killed it, bro.
Man.
She killed it. Mr. Make It Happen, you know. So with all these artists, you know what I mean, putting them up there, you know, my whole thing was all right, I've always been connected to music. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to not only support the lowrider community, but I wanted to support the artists of Colorado.
Nah, for sure.
You know, so I put this little thing together in my head. I was like, all right, what if we did a Colorado Cypher showcase? You know what I mean? Which it was just a title. It wasn't titling any specific person.
Right.
It was just saying hey, we taking the top people of Colorado and we're going to put them on a platform so that way they can showcase to a broader community. You know what I'm saying? And get some new fans, you know, show the respect. And you got to, right?
Yeah, I
you
ain't
know
never took so many pictures for real. That was fire.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brother, you had so many fans over there.
That was tight. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it felt good to, you know what I mean? That's what you want when you go to a show. You don't want to go to a show and feel like, man, what the fuck?
Right.
Because a lot of shows we do, it feels like that.
Yeah.
That didn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? From the time we got there and just the way oh yeah, y'all gonna be up here. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Like you said, walking us down to the shit, having us there ready to, you know what I'm saying? That shit was all organized, at least for me. More organized than any other situation I've been in for real. So shout out to y'all. And
then we got into Chops for Life, you know what I'm saying? And that's my guy right there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the artists I didn't know before this, you know what I'm saying? When I started going through everybody's stuff, I was looking for because I handpicked everybody specifically, and what I looked for was presentation. I looked for content views. I looked for professionalism in their music videos, right? I looked for stage presence. Like, could you do a live show?
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, there's a lot of artists out there.
They've never done that shit. They don't know what they're doing.
You make it look good on camera and in a music video, but then when you got to perform live in front of people,
shit.
you fail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing that everybody that was up there was going to be able to do a good set, you know what I mean, and do their thing, and you guys had some bangers, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Chops went out there. I got to listen to his set prior, and, you know, there was a little bit of feedback on Chop's stuff when he did the little Travioso thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like
you know,
what though? Shout out, man. R.I.P. Lil Travie, man.
Yeah,
It's
most
I
definitely.
wish I would have got to get on him before he passed away.
Yeah.
It was right after,
Yeah.
you know, I started doing this on my own type shit. And my nigga, shout out Touch Money, who has actually recorded him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's dope.
I think he still has some of his shit.
I gotta release it.
Bro, I'm like, what? You were working?
They
with
waiting
it?
it. The streets waiting for that.
Yeah, no, facts. So what was that about?
So, you know, it was a whole. If
People
you
not
ask
liking
me,
Travie and that whole
no,
situation?
no, everybody loved Travis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Chops is a little bit controversial because he had the lefty gunplay situation, which they squashed that beef. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, as his manager right now, we're talking to Solis, and you know, we're actually. You know, Chops might be mad at me. I'm gonna drop it though, but you know, we're trying to work on a feature with Lefty right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, so that thing worked itself out. Some other people were a little bit upset. You know what I'm saying? And there were some issues. You know, with another group that was supposed to open up for us or whatever. We had to get them out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because of some threats and stuff. You know what I mean? So it ended up slowly graduating into you know. Who is this that's putting on for Travie, you know what I'm saying? And the whole thing was really about respect.
Yeah.
And Chops was giving respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And imagine people's like, you're up there wearing a Travioso, you know, hoodie on, you know what I mean? You're using them in your song and this and that. So imagine this, right? How many people have met Tupac?
Right.
But you wear a shirt.
Yeah.
You show the respect to the man, right? You sample his music, you put it in there. You know what I'm saying? It's all respect and love, right?
Yeah.
Because here's a legend that done passed away, and you're showing the respect. So if I went to California and I was going to go in there, I might use a snippet from Tupac's song. I might be wearing a Tupac hoodie and showing my respect because I rock with Tupac.
Yeah.
Well, you got to look, you know, Tupac I got him tatted on my leg, everything. You know what I'm saying? He was a inspirational figure in my life growing up. So I'm going to show my respect.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Chops. He didn't really know Travioso personally.
But he fucked with him on
and he was
yeah.
coming to the 719 to do a show. So he was showing that respect. You know what I'm saying? Now I think that he could have managed it a little bit different and said, hey, you know, I'm here to show the respect for Travioso. You know what I'm saying? And I think if we would have led with that, it would have been a little bit different. But I think that he's a little bit misunderstood. You get to a certain level, and you know that video that he did with the lefty gunplay thing hit millions, bro. So a lot of people were sort of like, well, who are you to say he can't come here and this and that? You know, there's a whole backstory to it, and if you knew the real backstory, instead of just taking pieces from what everybody's talking about, then you'd understand, you know, what it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm privileged to know that stuff, and Chops underneath it all man, that dude's dope, man.
Yeah.
He's dope, and he's working on some good stuff, and you know. There's always gonna be haters out there.
For sure.
There's gonna be people, you know. I went through. They labeled him. I think it was Latin Beast TV.
Okay.
They labeled him the face of Colorado that's bringing Chicano rap back. You know what I'm saying? That was another whole issue. People are like, who's Chop? You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, this is not self-proclaimed.
Yeah, find out, bitch.
You know
Go do your
saying?
research. You can't be mad that you don't know motherfuckers in your own backyard.
Right.
You're not tapped in. There's a lot of motherfuckers I weren't privy to either. So that just shows how wide it can be.
Yeah.
You think it's so small, but it's like I didn't even know shit about Lil Travie.
Yeah.
But now I'm on him.
Yeah.
I wasn't privy to him either. But again, I don't. It'd have to be a situational thing to where, oh shit.
Well, now you're paying
what I'm
attention.
saying? Exactly.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean? So,
And that's the whole, like I said, the whole self-proclaimed thing. It's one thing if I come out and I say, yo, I'm the face.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If a magazine or a podcast company or anybody else comes out and says this, That is their
Yeah,
opinion.
you can't be mad at that.
You know, I went through the same thing for the barbering thing. You know, I did Denver Westward Magazine. I did a show with Heavy Hitters Boss. It was the UBC Barber Battle Underrated Barber Championship at Exto Center.
Okay.
They were there. They did an interview with me.
Yeah.
They made an article and they labeled me as the face of barbering for Colorado. Bro, I know way better barbers than me that have been putting in their work. I'd only been here 5 years.
Yeah.
And people were saying there was hundreds of comments on it. He's from Texas. He ain't even from here. And you know how I responded? I said, this is not self-proclaimed. And I said, and sucks for you. You've had your whole life to do it. I did it in 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who you mad at? Mad at me?
Yeah. Don't be
Somebody
mad at
else
me.
is giving me props. Of course, I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
You know
Move
what I'm
around.
saying? Absolutely.
Move
You know what I
around.
mean? Yeah. Move around or do better.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm
move
saying?
around in the sense of like get busy, like
Yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
move to the side, but like, you know what I'm saying, get busy.
Yeah. So, you know, with that being said, you know, like I said, you know, through that event, another good thing was it pushed me to open up the Illuminated Concepts Management Group. You know what I'm saying? And we got bigger things that are going to come off of that too. Right now, this is how we start. And we get the artists up in there. And so what we're doing for a lot of the artists is we're doing full production. You know what I'm saying? So top producers, you know, top beat makers, you know, big shout out to Ryan Andrews, Mad Chemist out in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? He is a 719er though, you know. So, and that dude creates fire. So, you know, and then we got some features that are coming into play, you know, like we got Big Gemini coming out with Shadow Boy, you know what I'm saying, on his first single. And that one's going to be huge, man. You know, it's got a quiet one, you know what I'm saying? So we wanted to make an album that was cinematic. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 years to make this album, but we're going to start dropping. The first single is going to be called Hood Love by Shadow Boy, you know.
Damn, 2 years to make an album?
So, yeah, it's all cinematic, you know what I'm saying? But we want it to be that, right? Like, you can do run and gun videos all day long, you know what I'm saying? You can do the, you know, get your beats and start mixing everything and everything. Like, we want it to be perfect. There still will be music coming out by then, but I have 2 years for this album. Not all my artists do I have 2 years.
Yeah.
So we do got to do some run and gun stuff, and you know, we're incorporating J Angel Productions in it.
Shout
you
out
know.
to my boy J Angel.
Yep. So and you already know how his videos are. So even a run and gun video is perfected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been rocking with that kid for a long time.
Who?
Jordan
Yeah,
Johnson.
hell yeah, man. We used to
Yeah.
work together at the Lil Carlson. Before that nigga even picked up a camera low key.
Hey,
So
I think when I got connected with him, he might have to correct me on this, but it was probably about 10 years ago, and he was just shooting off a little GoPro.
yep.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
motherfucker was shooting my first.
Now this dude,
my first
now
shit.
this dude got his red lens camera.
Come on,
you know,
man.
ridiculous.
Doing his thing,
You know?
for sure.
Yeah.
The upgrade, the grind, you know?
Big facts.
You gotta
big
put in
facts.
the work, man. Like,
You
what
know?
the fuck?
But it's cool, man. It's cool, you know. Like I said, you know, going through all of it, man, and sort of having that post thing. And I commend you. Thank you for doing a post interview, so you could sort of see everything. You know what I mean? Like the wide range of it, and really realize like it's a lot that goes into it.
Oh,
You
hell
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I've been
And-
around a lot of shit. You already know what
Yeah.
this shit ain't. What?
And to show like even my own industry, you know, the barbers, like, hey man, like you can make it happen too.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be dedicated to it. You got to be able to take the risk. You know what I'm saying?
Comes with a lot of that.
Yeah,
for
a
sure.
lot. You know, because you don't know. You're going to fall straight out on your face. But, you know, failure is the mother of success.
Trial
you know what
and
I'm
error.
saying?
There's never gonna be a perfect moment. I've always said that. Like, no matter what you're doing, there's never gonna be the right time. It's only right now.
Right.
Period.
Facts.
There's never gonna be. I would never be doing this shit right now the way I'm doing it if I waited. If I didn't say, "Hey, James or Jordan, let's run this shit."
Yeah.
I started doing this podcast shit with him, as far as him filming my shit and doing the whole thing. Then I'm like, damn, this nigga's too busy. He's got his own thing going on. So it's like, man, I gotta run this shit myself.
Yeah.
I can't. Somebody pop up and need something done. If this nigga's on a video shoot, I'm asked out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's all about like, man, do I really believe in this enough to take the reins myself and just run it? And
Yeah.
yeah, You know what I'm saying?
Got
So
to,
you got to
right?
do it.
I mean, who's the best bet?
Yeah,
You.
exactly. And if you ain't people, if you are not willing to bet on yourself, nobody else is. That it makes no sense for me to bet on you when you're not. If you ain't gonna put the house on you, what makes you think I'm gonna put 100 on you?
Facts. Facts. You got to
Bro.
invest in yourself before anybody else is ever going to invest in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, I think that every person, every professional person is going to have some sort of charity case.
Yeah.
You're going to always have them. You know what I'm saying? You got that homie, you know, that
Yeah.
you're just like, yo, you know, I'm going to bring you on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you bring them up. Sometimes they can be a little bit cancerous, you know what I mean, and weigh you down. You got to be able to know when to cut that cord, you know what I'm saying, and
gotta figure it out.
and figure it out, because you know I see that with a lot of people too. You know what I'm saying, that they got their wingmen that have been there their whole life, but they have never elevated themselves. And you can't. It's like how Snoop Dogg said, man, you're the one bridging the gap, or you're the one creating the gap,
Yeah.
not me. I can't be all the way up here and you still at the bus stop.
Yeah, like how
You
the
know
fuck
what I'm
does that
saying?
happen? How are you not with somebody how are you with somebody that's you see doing these things, but you
Yeah.
have not figured out something to make yourself useful?
Yeah, you should be inspired by
Yeah.
when you see that. You should say, damn, I remember he didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
But now he's doing his thing. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because he ain't doing he doing the right thing.
And what can I do?
You want the instant gratification is the problem.
Yeah.
You ain't willing to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? And it starts just, you know, like you said in the thing, slow movement is good movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, slow motion is definitely better
There
than
it
no
is.
motion, man. And you got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
And so what made you even get into this whole barber industry?
So I started cutting hair in '96. My barber was a shit barber. You know what I'm saying? You know, and all my homies, we would ride our bikes. You know, we were in SA, and we would ride to this little Rios Golden Cuts, and it was easy, you know, simple, you know, ball fade. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I would always have little hair sticking up and shit. When it was $20, right?
Yeah.
There was a Walmart across the street, and I was like, man, fuck this, man. You know what I mean? I needed some money for some weed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I went across the street, bought them little color-coded, you know, joints. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Went home, just started cutting my own hair. Pulled up over at the homie's spot, you know what I'm saying, on my little dyno, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they was like, man, who cut your hair? And I was like, I did, right? So they was like, you know, their parents was giving them, you know, 10, 15, $20 to get a haircut too.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, well, don't tell them that you're not getting a haircut no more. Just come and I'll cut it for $5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 13, 14
Yeah.
years old. You know, it's 96. So, you know, $5 went a long way. You know what I mean? And you know, I just was doing simple haircuts with the edge up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Probably fucked them all up, you know,
Yeah.
back then.
I know my homie fucked me up plenty of times.
But at that point,
they got better than nigga
I
cut
was,
now.
I was throwing in my money. They was throwing in their money. We get, you know, our little sack. You know what I'm saying? Everybody came. We would shoot hoops in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? And I was just chopping people up in the garage. And I knew right then, you know, like my parents didn't have money, so I couldn't go get the Jabos. I couldn't go
Yeah.
and get the Jordans. I
Yeah,
couldn't.
yeah.
They weren't getting. I was wearing Wranglers and some freaking bullshit.
2 for $89.
Yeah, for real. And so I needed to go and I needed to step my game up, and I realized at that age, as long as I had a pair of clippers, I'd always make money.
Yeah.
And I just rocked with it, bro. 27 years, I never gave up. You know what I'm saying? Even if I worked other jobs, I still was cutting hair.
Yeah.
So literally 27 years I've been cutting hair, and you know, I mean, I could put a portrait in your head. It don't matter. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
now you got the skills.
I
You
got
know
the
what I'm
skills,
saying?
bro. And I'm quick.
Yeah.
I'm quick, so I can do full head design with color enhancement and beard 30 minutes. So, you know, and my starting rate right now, I don't hit over the head. I hit $50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, right? And I do that, you know, twice an hour. So, you know, where my hourly rate right now, I'm probably right after tip about 120 an hour. And my chair stays spinning. I'll do 22 haircuts in a day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Said that
So-
motherfucker stay spinning.
Yeah, and then that's why I don't have to do a commission barbershop. I'm old school, you know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, you go to some of these new barbershops and they're like, yeah, sign into my booksy. So basically, you're enslaving the barber. You know what I mean? You're taking his client's information, And then when they're ready to leave, say they want to go do their own thing, they don't leave with their clientele. I'm not from that day. I'm not from that era. You know what I'm saying? If you earned it, you earned it.
Come pay this booth rent, cut some hair, nigga, get the fuck on the
Yeah, you know, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Make the money. You know what I mean? And half of my guys, I throw at least 5 or 6 people in their chair just off of my own, and that pays for their booth rent to offset their expense. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, we got 8 chairs. You know what I mean? And we're doing our thing. And what I'm creating, I'm not creating you to work for me forever.
Yeah.
I want to create another boss.
Yeah.
I want you to go and open up your own barber shop, or hell, fucking buy mine. You know what I'm saying? But do what you need to do to put your family in a position, because today ain't easy.
You would think that's how you would, at least that 8 chairs, you running your shit, 8 chairs, and you still cutting. Like, motherfucker, at least 2 of y'all go do your own thing.
Yeah.
Then y'all have 8 or however many chairs in y'all shit. And from that, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
and it's easy. I got the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching these guys, like, this is what I'm transparent.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, this is what I made. You know what I'm saying? This is what I did this year. This is what I did this year. And in a great economy, I can make $250K a year. If it's a bad economy, you know, with my experience,
cut that in half, maybe.
Cut it in half.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be at 100K, but I am a 6-figure barber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With that, I couldn't tell you where the fuck it's at right now. You know what I'm saying? But you look at your lifestyle. When I first moved here 15 years ago, I was in a 1-bedroom efficiency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now I live on a $1 million property, you know, on 10 acres, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing my thing, and I'm out in the country in Black Forest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And horses all around, and it's one of the most relaxing thing, but it costs.
Yeah.
So even though you that's where I said that conditioning comes in. You condition yourself to pay this kind of money, so that way one day when all those overheads are non-existent, you in a good position.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm very big, bro. I put into the community. So if I do have extra money, dog, it ain't in my pocket.
Yeah.
It's in the community's pocket. When we do our charity events, homie, I don't go through a charity place to donate or anything. I put it right back into my community's pockets.
Yeah.
You know, it's that neighborhood nip thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd much rather it not get taxed by other people and then given to whoever they want to give it to. Nah,
I'm gonna give it to.
I'm giving it to the people that are showing up right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? And because I've done that through the pandemic, my shop shouldn't have fucking stayed open. But it stayed open because I was giving back to my people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was giving back in a big way. I think we raised right around $75,000 a year to give back to the community. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
And I'm trying to hit that 6-figure, you know, giving back to them, and then go up even more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, reach into Denver, start doing it in Denver, and maybe double that up. You know, you never know what the next 10 years is gonna bring. But if you quit right now, man,
You'll never know.
You're never gonna know, man.
Go get the money.
Yes, sir.
You gotta go get the money, man. If you can raise, that's what I've always, like, with charities and shit, or like motherfuckers raising money. I'm like, damn, y'all raise that much money?
Yeah.
If you could raise that much money,
Yeah.
you can make that much money. It's out there.
Yeah, you can definitely do it, man. I mean, it's really, dog, just manifest it.
Yeah.
Tell yourself, start speaking it into existence, man. Like telling your, like I said, I had $0, but I spoke it into existence. I talked about it to every single person that I met. My wife probably hates me.
Yeah.
How much I've talked, and I get about 3 hours sleep every day. Because I'm working 4 businesses. You know what I mean? I got the tattoo thing. I got the barber thing. I own Medusa beard oil. So we're working on our e-commerce platform so we can sell worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First designer beard oil. I got to get you some.
Man, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get my shit right here.
Yeah. This shit is fire, right? I've had that open for 5 years. And now we're starting the, Illuminated Concepts Management Group, and then we're going to do the Illuminated Concepts record label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we
Shit.
moving up. Somebody told me a long time ago, you got to have 7 incomes to be a millionaire. I'm trying to get there, my guy.
I'm trying to tell you, because
You know?
this shit ain't easy.
And not just for me, dog. Like, for the people that are really rocking with me heavy. I know handyman. I know construction guy. I know plumbers. I know all sorts of people, fabricators that just need somebody to believe in them.
Exactly. You don't
know
have
what I'm
enough of
saying?
that at all, for real.
Yeah, I mean.
But it starts with you, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't want it more for you than you.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
So you got to want it really for real. A lot of motherfuckers don't.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Well, they
not.
want it. They just want it right now.
They don't want to work for it.
They don't want to work for it.
Yeah.
You know?
They don't wanna work for it.
And-
Everybody
and
wants something.
It don't happen. I tell everybody, I'm like, yo, you know, I'll make you a 6-figure barber within 5 years. You know, like really do the math on that, right? Like if you want to be a doctor,
Yeah.
if you want to be a doctor, how much school you got to go through?
Man.
10 years, right?
Right.
And then after that, right? Are you a known doctor? No, you're just getting right into the industry, right? How long is it going to take for you to be a known doctor?
Another
At least
10,
another
another
10.
yeah.
Right. So now you're 20 years in. How long is it going to take to pay back the $500,000 you spent in student loans? Probably 10 years. So is that doctor really making that 6 figures?
Takes a minute to get there, baby.
Going to take you that 20 years, my guy. Like, so you even at that point, and I'm telling you, you could be a 6-figure barber in 5 years fucking with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just fucking believe that I got your best interest at heart, and I'm going to show you the right way.
Yeah.
You ain't going to like me throughout all of it, but
Yeah. But it's discipline. People don't like discipline. How the fuck you think we got anywhere where the fuck we at? Discipline, ladies and gentlemen. You're still stuck in the same place, in the same position, because you have no discipline.
got to get it.
You got to whip your own ass. You ain't hurting enough. You ain't never had them lights cut off. You ain't never been hungry for real.
3 hours of sleep a day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm
3.
tired right now.
Yeah.
I told you today I feel like shit right now. But even then, this conversation and everything, this is what it's about. But it's like, bro, you gonna do it or you not?
Yeah.
I understand sometimes shit happens, but me feeling a little like, oh, it doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
The
could have
grind
been
don't
like,
stop.
man, not today, but nah, fuck it. Today.
Yeah, it's
You know what I'm
today.
saying? Yeah.
You know,
so-
I came here directly from. I'm doing a with the event coordinating company. I'm doing a wedding reception for my people from Open Doorways. You know, outreach. They do an outreach thing. Are big in the community, and so we went over there. So I was real close over here at that time, but I had to hit that first, and then I had to come
And
here.
do
After
more
that, I gotta
shit.
go.
I
I
like
gotta go
days
do
like that,
another
though.
thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a constant movement. You know what I'm saying? And if you're gonna be complacent, you know, at a young age, like save that until you're in your 60s.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
like
Get the fuck outside, bro.
get outside.
I wasted a lot of time doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
I wish I would have put foot on gas back then. You know what I'm saying?
But still, you can't regret that either because it brought you right here to where you're
It
at right now.
definitely
You know what I'm
did,
saying?
and showed me a lot. Like, damn. But then it's like, oh, well, we're here now. You did what you did, and let's, you know what I mean? So, but fuck.
Yeah, condition.
Yeah, nah, facts, condition, man. Goddamn, man. And so, we've been having a motherfucking great conversation, man. I mean, that's what this is all about here. So what's coming up next for you as far as you have the July 4th?
Yep. We got July 4th. We also got, I believe it's July 12th with Chops and Glasses Malone and Young Buck.
Where the
You know
fuck?
what I'm saying? That's going to be at Play Arena, or Play Ball in Denver.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? I believe I'd have to go back and look at the dates, but we also got another one in Greeley that we're doing a show out there. You know, shout out to Sharon. We're setting up some stuff to do a hangover performance at that. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff that's going on in California, and then we're trying to work our way into some stuff that's happening in Washington. You know, that'll be about a 20,000 person crowd. Still got to work out some details. Yeah, but you know, really right now, what I'm focused on is doing the 4th of July event, Haircuts for Heroes, and really working on features for our new artists that we're putting on. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to hit this shit hard. I want the first videos for each one of these guys to come out with a big name and just hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Hit that motherfucker, man. Hit the ground running.
I mean, you got a lot of those companies out there, right? That are like, let me just throw some stuff out there. I don't want to just throw stuff out there. And if we do throw something out, I want it to be top notch. And I want everybody being like, damn, they running.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't walking no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
I definitely
so-
want to do some give back shit. So I haven't been able to, because I don't know how that shit necessarily works. So
Yeah.
it'd be amazing. I definitely want to put on like a dope ass show for the. I would say the kids. I want to fuck with the older kids.
Yeah. You know,
High
if
school
we
kids, middle school,
could
high
probably
school.
cater some sort of event to where, you know, you're going for like the 15 to, you know, 25 range, you know what I'm saying? 35 range, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could definitely, we'll work something out.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, I again, you take care of your people, they're going to take care of you. I've always believed that as far as, like, with being in, whether in the hood, suburbia, don't matter. You take care of your people, they're going to fuck with you. Some people, obviously, some bitch-ass niggas.
Yeah, you're gonna have those ones.
The majority understands what you're doing, and they are going to be willing to and want to, especially, like, the homeless. I fuck with the homeless. So I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl, Pastel, who be doing the, socks and sandwiches. So she be giving the motherfuckers food and socks.
That's where it's at.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to be able to find my place to help out. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know how to do it.
Hey,
you know what I mean? So,
well, you know,
but I definitely
you got me now.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why
I'm
I'm saying it now. So I'm like,
you know
I want to be able to do something once a year. I really love the kids though, so I want to be able to get homeless people and children. Well, children matter more because we got to be able to. They got to be able to see it firsthand to want to go in a certain direction. If they keep seeing this drill, kill, all this other, they're gonna go that way. We gotta try to reel them in.
Well, when even when, you know, that's another thing. Like when you're, you know, a rap artist or whatever, you know, you got to understand a lot of people are going to take your music a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got to have it like that, right? Like, cause I'm not gonna even halfway front. Like, you know, growing up listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony and Tupac and stuff, you got some heavy shit from them, but then you got that feel good. You know what I'm saying? And you got that real music, like Blaze Zeus. That's one of the reasons why I like Blaze Zeus so much. Like that Imagine Me track, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's positivity in it. And then when you hear those tracks, you're like, oh, okay, he can be. He can be
but
gangster.
It's all.
But this dude got a heart.
Again, it's art. And again, I think what people aren't able to differentiate is that, hey, fool, I'm not going to say people are acting, but like you can. The only reason why music is like that now is because you have these young motherfuckers out here creating this stuff to rap about it. So it's not like they were, you know what I'm saying? They're going out there doing these things to come back in the studio and talk about it. And it's fuck. Don't do what you're doing.
Sort of
you know what I'm
false,
saying?
right?
Instead of having the imagination or just being creative with your music. Like, I'm having fun with this shit now. Like, it's not have fun with it. Like, you can't play both sides when you're doing this. You're either in or you're out, bro. Well, you even get like even into the diss tracks, right? Like, I know a lot of people, like, if you was the 90s and you diss somebody, right, you get shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, now just imagine it. You got, you know, 2 Super Bowl teams going heads up, they're gonna talk their shit. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards they're gonna be cool. You know, and it's a big publicity thing anyways. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get views off of it, I'm gonna get views off of it, we're gonna go together. Played it smart, bitch, and played the labels out. I'm saying that because they're playing you, they're playing us at the end of the day. So it's like they're gonna make money off your death. They're gonna all this shit's gonna come back to where it's gonna be in their pocket. So
they got the life insurance deals in place. You know what I'm saying?
When I heard about that shit, bro, I was like, oh. A lot of that shit made me not even want to be a part of the industry. I just want to make music. There's sync licensing. There's ways to make money. You know, jumping on stage. Look at the independent.
Cool. Look at Dax, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom McDonald, they making big money. You know what I'm saying? Just on an indie label. That's why I don't want to be a major label. I want an indie label, and you
still
know,
run up a bag doing that.
And this is how, you know, like how I'm pushing it is gonna be one of those things where it's a 50-50 deal. And I'm gonna put in 50. You're gonna put in 50, and then when we get the profits, we're gonna split it. We're gonna break bread right down the middle. Now on my side of it, because I own the company, 25% of what I make is going right back into the company. Because we gotta grow. But if my growth in that makes sure that you have growth in it, and we making even more money, bro, that 25 ain't nothing.
And then I can't put money into you and I'm not getting nothing back. The fuck you think this is? Or you get the money I put? Like what? No.
You know. If I was rich beyond me, if I was Elon Musk, it wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I got lots of kids. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. Okay.
I got 5 kids, bro.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? So, you already know them courts ain't playing with me.
They're not. No. They're not playing with nobody. Listen, I'm glad I got my shit taken care of because, boy, look up and be in the rears 50, 60 grand. You know what I'm saying? And then what?
Yeah.
That shit puts a damper on your whole mood.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you already know how the state come. They come for that license, and they come for the
Bro,
occupation.
had me
license.
fucked up. I'm like, yo, wait a
Yeah.
minute. I gotta. So I can't
Hey.
drive. I gotta get to work now. Y'all ain't
Hey,
gonna get no money.
I'm not gonna lie. I've sat back at times. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, it cost me $10,000 to take her to court. You know what I'm saying? But if she want to take me to court, it's free. So how do I get into court for free? I'm just gonna let this shit lapse. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully one day,
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, here's your day in court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm in there for free, and I'll be able to show what I need to show.
Yeah.
It don't never happen that way.
Never.
You know, I'm 17 years into child support on one of my kids, bro, and I went to I did this recently, and I let it lapse because she wasn't letting me see my kids.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money to put into it, and it ends up coming back, bro, where I'm just sitting there like, damn, I'm on the phone with the Attorney General's office, and they're telling me like, nope, we're not going to court. You're good. And I'm just like, come on, man. I want to go to court.
Yeah.
How many times do you hear a dad say that?
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to court.
Yeah.
And they won't let it happen. Not unless I paid all that money.
My son's 17 too, so like I said, that's why I'm glad I got that shit taken care of. Cause boy,
Yeah. But you know, they be coming out like, 17, that child support about to end. So they're like, how can I extend this till he's 21?
fuck that. You can't get up out of here. He just turned 17, so
Yeah.
nah, fuck that, man.
But like I said, man, like I said, it was a great event. I was honored to have you there, bro. You know
I appreciate it. So
that
was I.
shit was so
Thank you.
dope.
I'm ready
It was
for
on
whatever
fire.
else is coming.
Yeah, I got some shows coming. I definitely want you on it. Definitely want to get you on some beats. You know what I'm saying? And do some work together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very, very, very grateful.
I appreciate
You know what
it,
I'm
man.
saying
Thank you.
for you
Sure.
having me today.
No, I
I'm saying?
appreciate you. You got to spin, you out, or you got, because we usually do this 21 questions. We've been talking.
Oh no,
this
we
whole
can
time.
do it. We
so
can
I
do
got
it.
you. It's a little no right or wrong answer,
Yeah.
rapid fire or deal. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into that with Bray the barber. Is that what you go by?
Yeah, Boss Bray the barber.
Boss Bray the barber. What's your favorite food and dessert?
Hey, I come from an Italian background.
Okay.
So,
Italiano, like a good meatball or spaghetti.
pretty much, man. I'm a big fettuccine guy, man.
Okay.
But it got to be made the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would watch my grandma when I was younger, and she'd just be stirring that sauce, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make sure that everything was perfect. And, as far as my favorite dessert, man, I just do not have a sweet tooth.
Really?
Yeah, but if I was gonna say like, every once in a while I'll be eating some ice cream, pecan and pralines. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. I've my sweet tooth is. You see them sour shits over there?
Oh,
It's my
yeah.
favorite shit. Either the Mike and Ike's or the
Oh, I like Mambas.
Yeah, nah. See,
The Mambas is good.
But them bitches, them boxes. You see, it's open. It's not done. Them bitches will sit there for a while until I feel like it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like how it used to be. So I feel you, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't really have one, but sometimes I'm like, let me grab like 4 of them just in case.
Yeah,
I ain't
for
got to
sure.
go out for like a month or something.
Hey,
Like,
man, you gotta get that sugar in your blood.
bro, you a little bit. I just want to taste. It's like drugs. Like a motherfucker in his cocaine. I just need a taste.
Yeah, right.
Taste sometimes. I don't want to be an addict no more. I just want to taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you. Favorite movie or let's say top 3 and a recommendation.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say one of my top favorite movies. I mean, it's gonna sound sort of basic, but
No, dude,
I went with Blood In, Blood Out.
fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Classic.
I'm gonna say Menace to Society
Classic.
and probably Scarface, dog.
You can't. Those are all actually good movies. This motherfucker was on here and he said, "What was the movie with Hilary Swank?" I said, "Nigga." Hold on, I have to look at it now to see what the movie was called, because I want you're gonna be like, what? Like first of all, why is this your favorite motherfucking movie?
Yeah.
Hold on, what was Hillary? How you spell this bitch? How you spell it, Hillary? I don't know how to spell Hillary. Hillary Duff, she's fine as hell too. We're looking for a swanker. What was that fucking movie called? Movie list. Angel's Motherhood. I'm mad it's not in this list right now, or am I just overlooking it? But whenever she was I guess something about almost like Dangerous Minds, but not really. But and that's a good movie too.
No,
But
Dangerous Minds was dope.
It was a good movie, but I'm like, bro, why the fuck is this your favorite movie? So I say that to say like your movies are good. When this nigga told me that, I was like, bro, you're joking.
I can't think of one fucking movie with Hilary Swank in it that I fucking like.
Bro, Teaching. Hold on, was it a Teaching? Right, exactly. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
Who the fuck watches Hilary Swank? I mean, much love to the dude.
Classic. This is it. Freedom Writers. I hate this nigga. Wow. What? Bro, he literally said Freedom Writers.
Is that like a fucking spelling contest or something?
I think the inner city kids on bullshit. Something got clapped. Her, and what's my bull's name? This bullshit.
Oh, I
can't think of my name.
But
but
I've seen that before. But even that cover right there,
a
don't make me
favorite
wanna watch
movie?
it. Yeah, that ain't my favorite.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's no way, man.
I wouldn't even recommend that.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I think favorite movie, right? It's gonna be one of those things like what inspired you, like when you were younger. What helped form you?
Yeah.
And all that.
What changed you? How the fuck did Freedom Writers change you?
Yeah, right.
Like what?
I could see if he said Dangerous Minds. You know what I'm saying?
Now that was a good one, right?
Yeah.
And you understand why. But Freedom Writers, nigga, that's some old suburbia shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
did you give us a recommendation?
Oh, a recommendation for a movie. So I had 3 and then a recommendation. Man, there's so many good ones, man. But
yeah, shoot them.
Man, if you ain't ever watched The Eternals, bro. Or no, not The Eternals. It was like 300, but it was it was Eternals.
Was it? Because Eternals was fire.
Yeah.
Were they all superheroes and shit? And then you had the one was Angela Bassett, Angelina Jolie in there. She was one of that. She was one of the head honchos.
I'm saying it wrong. It's not that one.
Oh, you're talking about.
It was like the one like 300. Damn it! What is that one called?
Who's in it?
I don't remember the dude's name. I'm trying to look it up right now.
Nah, you good? Go ahead.
Eternal. No.
I'm trying to think of what that is because I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't put a pin on it. Like 300.
Immortals.
That's
what it was. Eternal.
Yeah, Immortals.
But Eternals was cool
Yeah,
too, only
Eternals
because
was good,
they sort of started leading into Galactus.
Yeah,
that one
to be crazy,
homie. Once Galactus is on that screen,
I can't wait for all this new shit, all this new Marvel shit,
bro. That Marvel shit, that's coming out, dog. Man, I can't wait. This is gonna be the real shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Fantastic Four too.
Now they're branching in. Like all these first movies that they was putting out for all these years, they was like the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the 80s, 70s, 80s comic books.
Yeah.
And now we getting into that 90s, 2000s, and
type of
more
shit.
people see it. You know what I'm saying? So they started moving a different direction in that era.
Yeah.
And, introducing more of the prevalent characters that everybody are accustomed to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Hell yeah. Bringing some old shit back, but
yeah.
But
Immortals with Randy, what was it? Rourke, Mickey Rourke, as the bad guy.
Yeah, not for sure,
man.
Mickey
And I love
Rourke's
all
good.
that. I love all that type of Greek
me too.
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. I get a kick out of all that. Can we get a God of War, please?
Yes,
a good one, please.
You see that they're supposed to be coming out with that King Spawn, right?
Yeah. So I'm
by Blumhouse, right? Or Blumhouse?
Yeah.
Man. Dog, they can't fail me on that. Don't fail me.
I'm not even gonna put that out there. I'm not even gonna say they'll find some way to fuck it up, but let's hope for the best, right?
They was talking about Jamie Foxx, but I'm like, I don't know if Jamie Foxx good for that. We're gonna have another
Some people just can't
Jordan or Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, fuck that. Yeah. Like Michael Jai is that bull.
Yeah. Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Not for sure.
And it was good for the Spawn back then. But
back then.
Yeah. Leave it there.
Yeah. I agree. For sure. money's not an issue. What you pulling off the lot in, or what you? Well, I know you got something in your back pocket as far as vehicles.
Oh man.
What's the one? What's the one?
I'm gonna go with the Chevelle Super Sport, dog. You know what I'm saying? 1970, 71 Chevelle Super Sport, bro. That's the one that I've always wanted.
There it is.
I did just recently pick up a 1976 GMC Sprint Classic that we are putting a supercharger in. That's who I'm going to talk to after this or whatever. But that supercharged motor, you know, right around 700 to 800 horsepower. It's got the front end. It's got the front end of a Chevelle, but the back end of an El Camino. So back in the 70s, that's where functionality met muscle, and the GMC Sprint was literally an El Camino, right? But nobody wanted a bike back then because it was like the knockoff version. You know what I'm saying? Which nowadays, if you find them, I think they only made like right around like 5,500 of these GMC Sprints compared to maybe 100,000 of the El Camino. So now when you see them at car shows and stuff like that, they're very rare.
Yeah.
And I'm just privy to be able to have one.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah, so we're gonna paint it up. It's gonna be that black purple. We're putting in a purple fucking wood bed in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be on some probably 26s. You know what I mean? You can't go lowrider on that because you with that amount of torque, you're gonna split those spokes every time. So you gotta have that big steel.
Yeah.
You know?
Car shit, guys. If you know anything. First. What would it be like? I got money purchase and then responsible purchase. So what you cashing out on, and then what's going to be the responsible thing that you're going to do?
You know, shout out to Legacy Jewelers. They just hit me with that piece.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Okay. That's the irresponsible.
They out here too, or no?
Yeah, they here in Colorado Springs. They've been in here for a while, man. There's a custom piece for Medusa Beard Oil, my Medusa company. That would probably be an irresponsible purchase.
About to go bling out. About to go get some shine.
You know, not too much. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, you know.
Yeah, but everybody I think everybody in the certain industry wants a nice piece, bro. You just gotta I made that money. I need something that going. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a ring or whatever, you know. Yeah,
I mean, you gotta at least treat yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm never one of those people that's gonna be off top. You ain't never gonna see me walking around with a $15,000, $20,000 piece. You know what I mean? I don't know why. You know.
Right.
You know, but you know, you might see me with a nice watch. You know, like a little small something. You know what I'm saying? Responsible purchase, man. Really, where my responsible purchases go is just money in the bank for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that my kids are set up in a way to where they don't have to go through the struggles that I went through. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to get it out the mud right away like that.
Yeah.
I still want to teach them that you can get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? But I think every parent, when it comes down to their children, they want to give them a little bit better than what they had. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. You always want that.
Yeah.
First, you don't smoke, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, first. Well, I didn't even know. I would have passed you the weed. You got a tip, man. Man.
I fucking left my bag in my fucking wife's car.
Light that thing up, man. I'm like, I didn't even know. I thought you were like, hey, man, let me hit that. I seen you pull out the vape and shit, so I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't smoke.
You got an ashtray.
What's the first time you've ever smoked bud?
I was 10 years old.
Oh shit.
10 years old, and in all honesty, man, I was fucking stealing that shit from my dad's little fucking jar, and surprisingly, the motherfucker had some fire for being a fucking 6'4" fucking redneck.
Oh wow, he said he had some bud on him.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was my stepdad. I ain't never met my real dad, but you know what I'm saying. He's one of them guys. You know, you like to drink his vodka and drink his Shiner box and smoke a little bit of fucking weed. You know.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. Day or night?
In all honesty, would I smoke?
No, just day or night.
Oh shit. I'm a night guy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be up until fucking 3-4 o'clock in the morning working.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Go to sleep. I'm up by 7:30 in the morning because of my kids.
Yeah, 6 every morning.
Yeah,
so it don't matter when I go to sleep. So I be trying to be in bed. I'm like, bro, fuck. You need that though. You need that rest, bro.
When I get when I get like 5 hours, 6 hours, dog, I'm fucking. See, I suffer from type 2 complex ADHD.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it's got a whole lot. I went through the genetic testing and shit like up in Denver.
Yeah.
Had to do that shit for a custody battle.
Okay.
But they diagnosed me. I've always had ADHD.
Yeah.
Adult ADHD.
Yeah, I've had
way
ADD.
different.
I was on Ritalin like a motherfucker.
Yeah, back when you could get that, right?
Yeah.
I don't take none of that shit. This is what I take.
Yeah.
I smoke weed.
Facts.
They want me on Xanax. They want me on all sorts of shit. I'm just like, I don't fuck with the narcotics. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, especially shit from the government. So, yeah, I ain't trying to die early.
Yeah.
So I just keep it with my medical license. You know what I'm saying? And I be smoking. But, man, dog, like it's got insomnia, compulsive disorder, PTSD, fucking all
Damn.
sorts of shit. Yeah.
What they do to us, man.
It was jail, dog.
Uh-huh.
Jail, bro.
Jail fuck
Yeah.
you up. Prison will
that
fuck
shit,
you up
they,
too.
They said there's studies now, dog, where they saying what they're talking about, like if you've been to jail, you got PTSD.
Depending on how long you was in there, jail was whack. Jail
Yeah.
is whack as fuck. The motherfuckers that's in there, bro.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
Free the ones locked though, you know what I'm saying?
Free the ones who look.
Yeah,
Not
get
everybody.
Tory Lane up out of there.
Free
at
the,
least.
yeah, niggas like him, get him out of there.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers who was doing bad shit, hey, stay your ass in there, man. Quit doing bad shit.
Here you go.
Oh no, you good. Cancel that. For real, man, because you got a lot of people locked up that ain't do shit for real, and that's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
There's a lot of people, man. When
Yeah.
I saw that shit, I was just
That's wild. Lock her ass up.
facts, right? Like I ain't see nobody talk about that.
Lock
like,
her
you put
ass
this
up.
man in
Both
fucking-
of them. The
Yeah.
bitch that shot her and the bitch that was lying.
Facts.
And just like what Cat Williams said,
Give
if
him-
I'm
give
not gonna
her the
tell you the
same time.
truth, if you're not gonna tell us if she shot her, then you shot her. That was the realest
Yeah.
shit I read. Like goddamn. And
Yeah, I'm
because
surprised they
everybody
didn't.
wants to not be telling or not be, they feel like this code means some shit, bro. Niggas is gonna roll on your bitch ass so quick.
Oh yeah.
And because they're females, you know what I'm saying? Like I see why. And like he said, man, I was protecting 2 black women, nigga, and then they made me the poster child for not protecting black women. Ain't that some shit?
Wow.
Like what? Y'all don't even know, and y'all just, and again, it's like you said, privy to know the backstory and the underlying issue, and then people taking that shit at the surface level. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
You don't know
You don't
shit.
know the
We
real-
wasn't
the real
there.
story.
We don't know shit. So it's like to know now though. It's like don't keep doing this shit to people. Fuck black or white, but it do be happening to our people a lot. But it's like,
It does.
damn, bro, it happens to a lot of people, and it's like, fuck y'all motherfuckers, bitch. Fuck Megan and that other bitch for real. And
That's fucked up.
like y'all gotta go do something behind that. Where female always like, man, fuck, bitch, you lied.
Yeah.
He took up for y'all low key, and y'all lied. Y'all didn't even want to come tell no truth or nothing. And then this nigga almost dies behind it
Yeah.
because he put out music talking about, maybe I get it, right? It's your art, and there's some shit that needs to be said, and how you ever gonna say it? But bro, this nigga, it's 14 times because
14, bro. 14.
and getting hit up in prison is different.
Thank the good almighty, bro. That
Man,
fucking survived. man.
our flight life.
Yeah.
What? Crazy. Free that man. Favorite restaurant?
Oh man, favorite restaurant. Man, that's hard because my wife cooks so good.
Wife, home. I ain't mad. Listen, nothing beats a home cooked meal
Man.
from your lady, bro. I don't give a fuck what it is. It could be that BLT, nigga.
Yeah, but I say Fiesta Jalisco
Okay.
over there off of Stetson Hills, bro. I get the molcajete from there.
Yeah.
Man, fire, bro.
Yeah.
You ever had the molcajete?
Nope.
Comes in the big lava bowl. That's what the molcajete is, and it got all the meat and the bacon wrapped fucking shrimp, bro. Fucking all the juices. Your
Oh, you gonna
tortillas.
have to.
It's about $45, dog. But I mean, everything on their menu is
Because
fire.
I'm a beardier guy, but you're gonna have to
Yeah.
put me on.
Hey, growing up in San Antonio, I knew all the best fucking,
Yeah.
Tex-Mex food,
Yeah,
right?
facts.
So to try to find something authentic out here, man, I mean, it took a while, but Fiesta Jalisco. Big shout
Fiesta
out to them.
Jalisco.
They every time I walk in, they're like, "Oh yeah, molcajete, no onion," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, you know it. I love it. I love it when they know what's up.
Yeah.
When they know you. That's part of the building that rapport.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, it don't even matter unless you knew. But like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nah, you know it. I don't want that shit on there. Favorite drink, alcoholic and non.
I don't drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
But
Congratulations.
when I did drink, my favorite, it's always gonna be a fucking Dos Equis or a fucking Modelo.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. I fuck with a Modelo.
If I
or a
drink
Corona.
liquor, I'm probably more on that Blanton's. You know what I'm saying?
He said Blanton's.
Blanton,
I don't
bro.
even
It's a whiskey, dog.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know.
like
it's
I ain't. I'm like, nah. Nobody's ever said that one. That's
it's some white boy shit.
It's the one that I'm like, yeah, that's my shit right there. That's like a motherfucker coming in here saying wild turkey.
It's just,
like, what?
it's not even that it's Blanton's. It's just that the whiskey, bro. It's just so smooth. It's
Yeah.
got like that honey taste. You know what I'm saying?
like
that's
what you like.
Yeah,
Ain't
man.
nothing wrong with that. I like tequila.
Just sip it.
Yeah, that's it. Just sip it. And non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic, probably Propel. I be drinking the shit out of Propel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I like them electrolyte shit.
Yeah,
I ain't
bro.
got one up here, but
I mean, like for me, like what I do, I'm always on the go, so I gotta have energy, bro. I
Something.
gotta have something.
Something.
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense, man. Can't be fucking falling out. Favorite team?
San Antonio Spurs.
Whoa.
Yeah. Growing up there, you bleed that, you know what I'm saying, and it just runs into a San Antonian's veins. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, and then I say the Broncos. I know I ain't gonna get.
Yeah,
no
no,
money,
fuck that. I
but-
fuck with everything Colorado, from the Avalanche to the Switchbacks. Fuck we talking about? And I'm not even a sports guy for real. I care less, but I'm gonna represent.
Yeah, facts.
Where we at? Favorite? Ooh, wait, damn. Ass or titties?
Oh, I'm gonna go titties all
Yeah,
day.
big booby guy. Big boobies. Favorite artist?
Oh, favorite artist.
And that's in any. People seem to think it's just music, but that's.
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins. Yeah. That's my guy right there, the Hannibal.
Huh. People surprise me every time. I've never heard the same answer twice. Maybe tacos for favorite food, but like, ain't nobody ever said Anthony Hopkins. Who are you listening to right now?
Right now, I'm actually just listening to a whole lot of different stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm listening to all the artists that are, that were at the event. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm listening to everybody's music there. And then, I go back to Master P, though.
I got to hook up.
Nah, nah, nah.
Holla if you hear me. Yeah, man. I fuck with old Master P for sure. How can I rephrase this question? Favorite haircut?
I'm going to go with, I like to do designs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So probably like a bald fade,
Ooh, bring to the mic.
bald fade, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drop fade with a cool little part on the side.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Favorite cartoon or TV show? Both, actually.
X-Men.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't wait for season 2 of X-Men 97.
Yeah.
There's something else I'm missing out that came on that I seen that it's on like episode 8, so I'm missing some shit right now. But have you seen Invincible?
I did. Yeah. That was dope too.
I love it. Favorite TV show? Well, does that count? Well, that's cartoon, but do you have a favorite TV show? As far as like live action?
I don't really watch TV shows. I watch a lot of movies though.
Okay. That's
You know
cool.
what I'm saying?
If you had one wish, what would it be?
If I had one wish, man, it would just be that, like us as all of people could just sort of unite and just like be harmonic with each other. Like express each other to each other, like,
Yeah.
your feelings, but still at the same time be in tune with we're all human.
Right. That's how
You know
it
what
should
I'm
be,
saying?
but we've
Yeah.
lost our way somehow. So
But if I could have a wish, that's what I would wish for.
to be a little more harmonious.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. What's one of your biggest milestones?
I would say right now, this past event,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was really cool because I was able to unify a lot of people from different culture and bring it all together, and it worked out really well.
No, it's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that fucking weed is really good.
Yeah. I know. All you needed was a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. Got me all stuck on these questions.
See,
so.
look, my bad. I was like, look. You said first cut was your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first. So who's the first head you ever cut?
My homeboy Darren Valadez, man.
Shout out to that boy, Mr.
You know what I'm
Valadez,
saying?
for believing in
Yeah.
the boss man Bray right here. What's one thing people misunderstand about you?
I think that everybody thinks like I'm meaner than I actually am. You know what I'm saying?
You look mean, but you're cool. Not
Yeah,
not to
man,
be
I'm-
mistaken for like, because people will take that and be like, oh, but like, nah, fool.
I'm just very intentional.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a purpose and I want to be able to create that purpose. And sometimes you got to understand, like, and not everybody's brain works the same way.
Yeah.
You know, so like I build things in pillars. You know what I mean? And when I do that, I have to build them all levels. So that way when I lay the house on or the roof on top, it
Right.
don't collapse.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm a little bit all over the place, but at the same time, and that might come off maybe a little bit aggressive at
Right.
times. You know what I'm saying? But underneath all of that, I'm just a normal person, man. I'm a family man. I chill at home with my kids and I just try to help.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's all, man. Come on, man. That's all you need sometimes. If you could tell younger Bray one thing, what would you tell him?
Just go through it.
Yeah.
Go through it, that there is a light. You know what I'm saying? And it will come. You know, that these younger years you're going through, the lessons that you're going through because you're getting solidified. You know what I'm saying? You're becoming the person that God built you to be, but you have to go through all of these trials and tribulations to become that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
part of it.
So just bear with it, go with the grit. It's gonna be good.
It's a part of the story.
Yeah.
And if you could talk to your future self, what would you ask him?
Oh man. Do I end up happy? You know what I'm saying? Not rich, not any of those things. Do I end up happy? Will I be happy with what I've done? Would I be happy with what's created? You know what I mean? Happy with my life?
Yeah.
That's all that's the only thing I'd ever need to know.
Yeah.
If it was just to be honest, like, you know, am I happy in the end? I don't want to know how I get there.
Or what's
I wanna
going on.
experience it, but
but-
am I happy at
Yeah.
the end? You know what I'm saying?
I like that answer.
Yeah,
Not a
sort
lot
of
of
deep.
people
Some of
care
these
about-
questions are
Nah, but
are
that's
some
where they
deep
are.
shit.
Some of them are, and some can go away. Some can take that question and it not be so deep. So it's
Yeah.
like it's really dependent on the person.
Yeah,
Know what I
facts.
mean? So
yeah,
but nah, I fucks with that. Not a lot of people don't care about happiness, which is crazy. That's like the main thing, bitch. Are you happy or no?
yeah. Are you happy?
All this other shit don't mean shit. Whether you rich, poor, bitch, are you happy?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like for real, really happy.
Happy people don't hurt people.
Yeah,
man.
at all.
You know what
Hurt
I'm
people
saying?
hurt people.
Hurt people hurt.
Nah, for real. What's one thing you wish you would have known before you began this career?
That's a loaded question. One thing I wish that I probably would have known is probably a point where, you know, the caring and generous and nice
Yeah.
Bray, you know, turns into a little bit of not that.
Yeah.
You know, you go through that separation. You know what I mean? Like how it's very hard to navigate that.
Yeah.
And it happens to everybody. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It don't matter what you do in life. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to happen to you too if it hasn't already.
Yeah.
And, you know, the hard part is knowing how to navigate it because every time it's different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that shit's it's wild.
Yeah, it is. Especially with in these fields that we are in. And you're in a few different ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all kind of
Yeah.
coincide, but
Well, and I got to deal with, as a barber alone, you know, imagine doing 22 haircuts in one day and you're dealing with 22 other people's energy.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you're having to soak that in as a good barber. You're soaking it in, and you got to be able to respond, relate, and react to what your client's saying to you. You know what I mean? And you build like I said, you build relationships with these people, so they tell you the ins and outs of their lives, and a lot of times it's great. Like
a lot of trust.
Yeah, it's trust. I mean, that's why I always said, who do you put your faith in? You know what I'm saying? And God first, your barber second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
real
saying?
shit.
Yeah.
Because who are you talking to at the end of the day about all this shit? Especially as men.
Well, it's therapy,
women
right?
don't talk
Like,
to anybody. Bitches
Yeah.
will talk to you, him, her, whoever.
Yeah.
Men they're not talking to everybody about this
Nah.
shit. So, yeah. It's a lot of trust with the barber and things. Favorite shoe?
Jordan.
Yeah.
These right here. Flight 45. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Ain't mad at those. Let's
Yeah.
be out of here.
These ones are dope, man. These ones run probably right around like 400.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
But
the
they
ones.
cool though, man. I like the support that they give. I like the strap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You like what you like.
Yeah.
Goddamn. What's one thing that really grinds your gears? What's one thing you can't fucking stand?
Repeating myself. That is the hardest thing for me, because it's like you don't have to repeat yourself to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a very good memory. You know what I
don't.
mean? And if it's like, I don't mind repeating myself.
Yeah,
like
but no, I
once or
feel
twice.
what you're saying.
But
like,
it's
yeah.
just like, if I come to you and I tell you today this, and then I got to come to you tomorrow and I got to tell you this, and then it's just a constant thing. I'm having to repeat myself.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things when people say, well, I saw Bray, he was like this, right?
Yeah.
Well, you saw Bray like all this other way 10 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now on the 11th time, now I'm the bad guy because
Yeah.
I said it different. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Like, motherfucker, write it down, bitch.
Yeah.
If you could work with anybody doing anything, who and what?
Man, if I could work with anybody doing anything, I don't think I would change very much than who I work with right now with my wife, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so in sync.
That's fire.
You know what I mean? And it makes it even better that we know each other intimately and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And have a family together and stuff, because we know what works and we know that what doesn't work. We've experienced it together. I mean,
Right.
she was there, when we started the journey, you know, straight from it. And then we just kept on running with it. And, she's seen the times where it was up. She's seen the times where it was down.
Yeah.
And, she's my number one supporter.
That's fine.
And there's just not, I couldn't imagine having what I have right now if it was not for my wife.
That's fire.
See what I'm saying?
That's super dope.
You got to have that support, you know what I mean? If you're going to, especially if you're going to be like in anything like that. Like, I don't have time to go fuck around, you know what I'm saying?
God.
I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to catch me out at a bar every week or
Yeah.
whatever, kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Because one, I feel like even in that, like, the less accessible you are, the more valuable
You are.
you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you pick and choose like who you want to see you, where you want to be seen,
Facts.
how long you're staying there, that type of thing. That's why it's very common. You see artists, they'll show up for a party, to stay for a little bit, say what's up, and then they move on to another spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't have that access.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah. No, facts. Real shit. And that's kind of how I be.
And I'm pretty cheap, only 50 every half hour. You know what I'm saying?
Get this shit.
Yeah.
Get this work.
Right.
Who is the boss, Bray?
So, Boss Bray, man, was just a kid that had a dream. You know what I'm saying? That was it, with no real hope. You know what I'm saying? And we turned it around, and, Boss Bray became sort of like a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they knew that Boss Bray was going to be a part of it, it was going to be monumental. That's why they say, a lot of people will tell you if it's not monumental, it ain't Bray. You know what I mean? Like, we trying to go monumental. I still think, even if I get that from other people, I still don't think I've been monumental enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I mean,
Boss,
people are looking, but you still in your
Yeah.
head are like, yeah, I still got shit
yeah,
to
I
do.
still got. There's so many fucking levels I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? and it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And then that name Boss Bray will always just sort of be what the ultimate goal is. If something happens to me or whatever, you know what I mean, that I end up being such an influence on the community and the city that I lived in that they remember it.
Yeah, no facts.
You know what I'm saying? Leave a little bit of a legacy.
It's how they remember you, man.
Yeah,
honestly. Because what's next after this, we don't know. But while we're here, it's how they remember you, if they remember you at all.
Yeah,
So.
That's it. I mean, most of the time, maybe on a shirt for 2 weeks.
Bro, it's the worst shit. Don't put me on no fucking shirt, bitch.
Yeah.
Don't put me in your skin, bitch, if you really love me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The fuck out of that t-shirt shit. The disrespect. Boss Bray, man, tell them what anything else you have coming up next, how they can get a hold of you, get cuts, get involved. Anything
man.
You need them to know right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to the Neon Salon and Barbershop page. You know what I mean? You can get a hold of me on there. You can get a hold of me on the Colorado Summer Lolo Black Party page if you're looking to get involved with next year's Black Party.
Okay.
We're already taking people in. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Yep. We're already planning it, so and then if you want to get a hold of me to book a show or do some event coordinating for you or anything like that, you can hit me up at mr.bossbray@gmail.com.
Okay.
And we can send you out a quote. We can set something up. We can come check out what you want to do, have a meeting, and then go from there, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, let's rock.
Let's fucking do it, man. God damn it. You heard it here first, man, with your guy, Hollow McFly, Boss Bray, our guest. First time, I'm sure not the last time, man. We've had a few people back and forth, because everybody's growing. Everybody's doing their thing. Make sure you follow him on all places where he said you can find him at. Make sure you goddamn fuck with Smoking the City live on all platforms, man. Higher Conversations. This is obviously going to be on all podcasting platforms. Of course, the Spotify's and the Apples of the world. So make sure you tap in, like, subscribe, follow, all that fly shit. Share with a friend. And we'll see you again. Good night, Colorado. Peace.
That was some good shit.
Fight.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight back!
I'm like really ugly.
All of you!
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
What I gotta do it? What you bring that up for? What you bring that up for, nigga? She looks nasty, nigga.
You start doing shit to bring attention to you, you cut, because I don't need that.
Go, you finna shut up.